everyone, and welcome back to Guitars and Music Tech. Today we'll be discussing 3D sound. What is 3D sounds? We have two ears, of course, and can we hear in 3D? We know that we can see in 3 dimensions, but can we hear in 3 dimensions? Yes, we can, and that is the answer. And how does it work? What proof do you have that we can hear in 3D? Let's take a mono sound. A mono sound like a combo amp, for example, the sound is coming from the speaker, but our ears do not hear it as mono. We still hear it in 3D. But people don't talk too much about 3D sound. They always say stereo or surround sound, but not 3D sound. It will be the next big thing sooner. I'll explain to you in this episode how that works. So before we start, I will want to do a little experiment with you, and you're going to participate in that experiment because you're going to do it, and I will prove to you that we do hear in 3D. That experiment is very simple. You're just going to take your thumb and your index and rub them together like this. And do this next to the right ear first. Unfortunately, this podcast is in mono, so you won't hear the sound effect. I'm recording in stereo, but it doesn't come out as stereo. Anyways, so you're going to rub those fingers like this. It's a very high frequency, around above 12K, and move it from the right ear and put it to the left ear. And then put it in front of you and move it around your head, lower under your shin, up your head, behind your head. Are you able to know where are you rubbing your fingers? Of course, you're moving your hands, so you know what it is, but just by listening to the sound of you rubbing those two fingers, you can detect exactly where is your hand. It's like you have a helmet in 3D, a bubble around your head, and you can pinpoint on that bubble exactly where is the sound coming from. Isn't that amazing? And how does that happen? We have two ears, and we don't have ears in the back of our head or in front. How can I know that the sound is coming from the back? So basically what happens, because of the distance between the two ears, the sound travels at a certain speed and it hits one ear a little bit before, tiny little bit before the other ear. And that will give you the direction of where the sound is coming from. So you can tell it's coming from the right, you can tell it's coming from the left. But how can you tell if your hand is in front of your nose? The sound, basically your hand, the distance between your hand and both ears are exactly the same. It's in the center of your head. It's not towards the right. Towards the right, if you take a line between your hand and the right ear, it's going to be shorter than the one with the left ear. So, okay, there's a difference. Our brain is good enough to be able to figure out, oh, it's coming from the right. But what happens when it's in front of you or on top of you? It's in the center of your head, is just around you, even below you. How does that work? How does our brain know that it's underneath? And of course, when you're listening to an amp, you're standing, you can tell the sound is coming, let's say from the combo amp. It's coming below your feet. You can hear the sounds coming from there. If you're walking in the jungle, you can hear the birds in the trees, or you hear the plane coming above you. So we do hear in 3D, definitely. That's no question about it. But when we are playing our music back from speakers, we only have two speakers. It's not 3D anymore. It's only two channels. If you put headphones on, definitely not 3D. It's only two channels, so it's either right or left. And we cannot get the effect of real life experiment that we just did. Means rubbing your hand and turning it around your head. You cannot get that till now with all the technology that we have. They're getting closer, but they're not there yet. To be able to tell the sound is coming from beneath your head or above your head. Yeah, you can tell it's on the right, it's on the left, maybe a little bit behind, but it's not really good. It doesn't really work. I'll explain to you in a minute why. So, first of all, how does our brain figure out the exact location of that sound? We said we have two ears, shorter. Look at our ear itself. The outside, it's called the pinna, Pinna. That shape of the full of curves, a bit weird with an earlobe. Nobody knows what's that for. Dogs have it differently. They can move it around. We could apparently move it around. Some of us can in the old days, but not anymore. I hope not. So what happens is, because of those curves in our ear, the sounds coming from the front or from equal distance is actually kind of like filtered a little bit. I can tell you, even maybe the EQ is changed, and according to that, our amazing brain is able to figure out that, okay, the sound is coming from the front, because the way the filtering is happening, it gives a certain tonality that it's in the front. If you go to the back of your head, it's hitting your head also, your shoulder and all that, and the earlobe and the shape of your ear is not the same when you look at it from the front and from the back. And amazingly, through our growth as young people and growing, our brain starts to adapt to figure out, oh, that sound is coming from the back. So this is basically, very simply, how is our brain amazingly able to figure out not just right and left, it's also front and back and up and down, that usually you don't get unless you have speakers surrounding you or on top of you or underneath the chair. Then you might get that kind of a sound field. So yes, we do hear in 3D. And when you listen to that little amp that you have in combo, it's a mono amp. It's one speaker. When you play your guitar, you do hear a 3D sound. How come? Well, the sound is coming out of the speaker, is hitting everything in around you. It's hitting you in a certain way. It's reflecting everywhere, and it's coming to you in the existence of a 3D image from that amp. And this is why it doesn't work to have a modeler. It doesn't work. In next episode, we're going to discuss that. Why I do not like modeling amps, and they just don't do it for me. So I hope I shed a little bit of light about 3D sound. And one interesting thing about that, if you ever have the chance to go swimming in a pool or in the ocean, try to figure out where is the sound coming from. You can't. The reason? Because when you are submerged into the water, your ear, the sound is traveling in the water much, much faster than when it's traveling in the air. The denser the material, the faster the speed of sound. So in the air, our brain is able to figure it out. Right, left, up, down. Underwater? No way. It's too fast. Our brain is really having a hard time to figure out which side is the sound coming from. It's an interesting experiment also to try and do. It's fun. So go to the pool, try to make a sound, take a couple of rocks and tap them together, and try to see if you can figure out where are those rocks. It's very, very difficult. I'll be surprised if you can. So hopefully I put something for you to think about. 3D sound, it's coming. We are not there yet. There's some experiments, and some companies are doing it. Some companies did some experiments by putting an artificial silicon-made look of ear lobes and pinna around a head, a size of a human head, and put the microphones there so that the effect of what our brain is doing is already done. But that's only for this head and for this shape of the ear. Your own head size, shoulders, and ear shape has been programmed by your brain for you to know where is the sound coming from. So if I'm recording it on a dummy default style, it won't work for me. I will not be able to tell. It has to be done for me. So unless in the future we can scan our head and our ears and add this as a model inside the program that is going to decipher where is the sound coming from, then maybe we can start to get somewhere. And you will only be able to do it if you put on earplugs or headphones. Then you eliminate the effect of the actual earlobe and pinna and all the head shape and all the reflections and all the things that happen. So you can have a 3D sound effect. And it's coming because with all the new virtual reality stuff, we actually cannot enjoy it unless we have 3D sound. Imagine you put a helmet on, earplugs, and then you are looking, everything it looks in 3D in your both eyes, but the sound is not there. The sound, to me, is more important than the eyes. So for me to hear, if I close my eyes and I'm in the jungle, I know I'm in the jungle. I can feel it. And it gives you the sense of existing in that environment. So that's why 3D sound is going to be the biggest thing in our very near future. And now you know why, and you know what it takes. Think about these things and maybe try to do programs and things that will help us achieve that faster, because people don't really go through this. We're still going to use 5.1 and 7.1 and all those kind of, add more speakers around you to try to simulate the effect. Because let's face it, most of the things are going from right and left, in front and the back. When you listen to music, there's no trombone player sitting in the ceiling playing, right? Or a flute playing downstairs. So it's all in front of you in the stage. So that's why stereo speakers, they work well. And surround speaker works better, because then you'll feel more submerged in that environment. So you can hear the people talking behind you, or cheering, or breathing, or coughing. So you can feel, I feel like I'm in the theater, right? Because exactly what you need, the information that was there is there. But to really feel it, you would need all kinds of speaker or a new technology that will help us hear in 3D. So thank you, and see you next time. Bye-bye.